It's time to sit back and tune in to real life insights, practical tips, and high vibe recipes that help you reclaim your power and create a life that lights you up. Welcome to Cassandra Bodzak TV. Hey guys, Cassandra Bodzak here, and thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel today, where you can get practical tips to live your most magical life. I hope you subscribe for more content just like this to inspire you and uplift you on the regular. And today's video is a little bit somber, but we are really going to alchemize the gold of kind of a sad situation, where let's talk about today 3 life lessons that we can learn from death. Which, like I said, is kind of super morbid and a very sad thing to think about, but it's been what I've been really journaling on a lot this week. I had been watching this series called The Last Days, where Claire Wineland was on, who just passed away this week, who was a fantastic, inspirational speaker. I'll put a link to her below. She was also a big YouTuber, and she had just undergone a double lung transplant and complications afterwards. Unfortunately, she passed. And then just yesterday, before I'm recording this, we lost Mac Miller, who was also a bright light and a really beautiful soul. And both these beautiful, incredible people gone so young in their life, so in their 20s. And it just had me really reflecting on how precious and fragile life is, and how oftentimes, especially when we're younger, we can live in this place of thinking that we're never going to die, and how we can really, there is gold and gems in the knowledge that we're not going to live forever. And so when I was just kind of reflecting on how both of these beautiful, beautiful lives gone so soon, what that could really mean for me, and how can I learn from that? How can I gather the gold from that in a way that can help me live the life that I do have right now in a better way, right? And in really doing it justice, and really being so grateful, and so just squeezing the juice out of my life, that this precious life, that every day that we get is truly a blessing. And so my disclaimer for this video is that while these 3 lessons will be very helpful, and I think can be completely game-changing for you, they're not going to kind of squash the grief or the sadness if you're watching this and someone that you loved has passed. That is a necessary part of the process, and it doesn't make that process any better. But however, I do believe that the gift of being present to mortality is a gift. And that these 3 lessons are kind of what I distilled as the biggest lessons that we could learn from death. So the first one is, stop waiting to live your life. Stop waiting to live your life. I see this time and time again. People are like, oh, I'll do that next year. I'm not quite ready to write the book. I'm not quite ready to get my yoga teacher training. I'm not quite ready to X, Y, and Z. I'm not quite ready to date yet because I want to, lose 10 pounds. I'm not quite ready to go on that trip yet because I'm going to wait until I have more in savings, And there is an element of practicality that is great in that. But I think overall, we really need to tune in. We really need to ask ourselves, why are we waiting to live our lives? One of the things that I feel like I've taught with a lot of my clients over the years, whether it's been in the practical magic training or helping people launch their books or their businesses, is that there is never a perfect time to start doing the thing. Today is the perfect time to start doing the thing, because tomorrow isn't guaranteed. And, I remember when I was in the hospital with my brother when he was really sick, realizing that even though I was so present to his mortality because of the situation and what was going on, that also being really present to the fact that I could walk across the street and get hit by a bus. And not to say that in like a weird, morbid way, but just being that present to the fact that none of us knows with 110% guarantee that we're going to wake up tomorrow morning. So don't you want to suck the juice out of today? Don't you want to live your best life today? And so I urge you, I think one of the biggest gifts of recognizing mortality, of staring death in the face, is realizing that every day we have is a gift. Like, the time is now to do the thing you want to do. If you've been dying to take that trip, go take that trip. If you've been dying to write that book, start writing the book. Don't wait for someone to give you permission, right? If you want to go out there and date, or you want to say that thing, tell the people that you love them. I think there are all ways, and when you're listening to this right now, I'm sure there's something that's coming up for you. Whatever that thing is that you've been waiting on, go do it now. Lesson number 2. Stop caring so much what other people think. I feel like this is one of the biggest paralyzers in our lives, is that we care so much about what other people think. And if you really sit down, and I'll be honest, I look at this and I often ask myself that question when I'm making a decision, whether it's a big lifestyle change, whether it's whatever it is. If it's a big choice for me, I ask myself, if I was making this decision in a vacuum, if there was no one around to judge me or give me pushback or to give me any flack or to make any comments about it, what would I do? And then that's the answer that I go with, because the truth is, at the end of the day, once again, we only get this one precious life to live. And so don't you want to live in a way that is the full expression of yourself? And whether that is cutting your hair off and dyeing it purple, whether that is, eating in that certain way that you feel strongly aligned to, even if it gets pushed back from others, whether that's having a spiritual practice that's a certain way, or living your life in a certain way, whether it's traveling or not having kids or whatever it is, whatever your specific thing, the way that you really feel called to express yourself, I think to reflect on during these times, it's really ask yourself, what are the parts of myself that I'm stifling because of what I care about what other people think? I mean, when I saw this beautiful clip from Gary Vee the other day where he was talking about keeping up with the Joneses and how people buy cars because they want their neighbors to be impressed by their car. People get houses because they want people to come in and have a certain impression of their life because of their house, instead of just honoring and asking yourself, how much do I honestly care about the car that I drive? What is important for me? What kind of house do I want to live in? What makes sense for me? What feels good to me? Am I buying that big mansion because I want to look cool on the block, because I want to impress people when they come over? Or am I doing it because that's genuinely a dream in my heart, right? It's not about saying any of these things are bad or good. It's just about refining it and saying, what are the things that I'm doing because I want to look a certain way to others? What are the ways that I'm molding my life because I care about what other people think, perhaps too much? And what are the things that are really my personal self-expression that I want to go for, that I want to do? Because once again, this one precious life, it's a gift that we all get. And so how do you want to use that gift? Because at the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, half of the people that you're trying to juggle opinions right now, one, might not even be there, two, probably aren't thinking about you, right? Everybody's in their own little universe. And so your job with this beautiful, precious life that you're given is to honor what you want to create. It's to honor your truth, right? So one, do it. Stop waiting. The time is now. 2, honor your truth. Stop caring what people think. And you know what? That's something you have to consciously do. It's not easy. It's not easy. So sometimes it's helpful to reflect on that. It's helpful to ask yourself questions like I ask myself, as far as what would I make this decision in a vacuum if nobody cared what my house looked like? Only I care about what my house looked like. What kind of house do I want, right? If nobody cares about what car I drive, only I care about what car I drive. What kind of car do I want? If nobody cares about what the kind of food I eat or how I work out, or if I have a dog or if I have a cat or if I have a kid or whatever it is, what would I do? And really start peeling back other people's opinions. And number 3 is create a life that you are proud of. I read a quote from Claire Wineland, and she did a beautiful, beautiful talk on really being proud of the life you're living today. And I think it kind of reflects both of the other lessons, but it's important enough to be its own, where it's that's a great method for discerning. Are you proud of what you did today? Are you proud of how you lived your life today? Are you proud? And that's going to be different for everyone. You could be proud that you were a great father today. You could be proud that you showed up for work and for your employees in a great way today. You could be proud that you were a great dog parent today. You could be proud that you went to the gym today, or that you made yourself that salad. That you lived in integrity with the way that you wanted to live. And when I think about that, if I pass and I get to, let's say, hypothetically, go look at how I've lived my life, would I be proud of how I spent my days? Would I be proud of the choices I made? Would I be proud of the way I lived my life, from everything, from taking care of my body to how I was with my friends, to how I was with my family, to how I interacted with people, to the service I gave in this life, to the creative expression I allowed of myself in this life? Would I be proud of it? Because once again, life is too short to live a life that you're not proud of. So I hope that this video gave you a little food for thought. I hope it kind of got your juices flowing. I would highly suggest you just journaling for a little bit after it and really recalibrating, really getting honest with yourself about these things, because it's sometimes things that we can kind of go on autopilot and not consider for a while. So look at this as your little wake up reminder call to get a little bit more present to your mortality so that you really can squeeze the juice out of every day of your life. And thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe. I hope you like this video. Comment below. Let me know if this struck a chord with you, if there's anything you realized while watching this video. And of course, if you are feeling called to do the practical magic training, there's a link below to watch my free practical magic one-on-one workshop, Unleashing Your Inner Wonder Woman, as well as all sorts of information about my epic 6-month training that's really just mind, body, soul strengthening boot camp that's just going to transform your life. So if that's what you're ready for right now, I highly encourage you to click the link below and check that out. And I'm so excited to have you here on my YouTube channel and get excited for more regular content right here from me. Mwah!